Hey guys, welcome back to Paracord Planet. Today we're making a Paracord snowflake. This was actually one of your guys' suggestions, so thank you very much for that. This is part of our ongoing Christmas series. We're decorating our little tree right here. So if you like any of these ones, be sure to check out the rest of that playlist. But for our snowflake today, you're only going to need 13 feet of 95 paracord, preferably in color white, unless you want to make your snowflakes really wild, and then our scissors and a lighter. Let's dive right in. So go ahead and start off by cutting your cord into 11 1-foot sections, and then leave one a little bit longer. I've gone a full 2 feet, but you might not even need it quite that long. We'll start with that one, and we're just going to create a loop right in the middle. So line up both ends, and just loop the ends over each other so you have a full completed circle. Then we'll take one of our shorter ones, fold that in half as well. And right where those two cords cross over each other, we're going to make a cow hitch. So we'll put the folded end down through the loop, bring it around the bottom, and pull both ends through. So that's what it should look like before you tighten it down. And then we'll just hold on to our circle as we pull that cow hitch tight. So now our circle will stay in place, and we're going to attach the rest of these onto the circle in the same way. So that's folding them each in half, bring that folded end down through the middle, around the bottom, and those two ends just tuck through and pull tight. Once you have all those cords attached to this middle loop, we're going to start with some square knots. So this first one's going to be a little bit different, and then it should be about the same for the rest. So here's our loop attached to our longer cords right here. So we want to bring these longer cords actually to the middle of our square knots for this first spoke of our snowflake. So just bring those over the top to the middle, and then we're going to start with some square knots. Take that right side cord, bring it over the top, the left side one over that, but around the back and up through the loop. If you look up square knotting or a cobra weave, you're going to find how to do this if you don't know already. Once you have that first knot, we're going to use those middle cords and pull them tight so that we make our loop as small as we can in the middle. Once you're happy with the sizing, go ahead and make one more of those half square knots. So this time we're going to use the left side cord over the top, right side cord over that, around the back, and up through. Get these other cords out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. But we'll do that pattern one more time. So one more back and forth. So right side over the top, and left side over the top. And now we're going to do that with all of our sets of 4. So take your next 4 cords, they're going to become another spoke. The next 4, these 4, like that, and then we'll catch you with the next step after that. So after you finish that, it can start to look a little bit jumbled with all of your cords heading off sideways and crossing over each other. So what we're going to do is push all of our cords off to one side, except for 2 sets. So we've got 2 sets of 4 cords on this side that we're going to be working with. You'll notice that some of your cords are shorter than others, and that's because it takes more cord to weave around than it does to just put them through the middle. So we're going to be switching that for the next step. So we'll take our 2 shorter cords between those 2 sets, and they're going to become the center strands of our next weave. And then we'll take the center strands, and they're going to become the weaving strands. So it's basically the same thing, except we'll leave a little bit of a gap in between. So you tie 1/2 of your square knot, about like that, and then before it stays in place, you're going to have to tie 1 more. So that mirror image of your first knot. You can pull those tight, and you just want to leave about a 1/2 inch length without any knotting in the middle. We'll do 1 more set of knots for a total of 4 knots on this one, just like our first step. And that spoke of our snowflake is done. We're just going to go around the rest of it and do the same thing. So moving on to the next one, the 2 weaving strands become the center, and then we take the adjacent core strands and they become our weaving strands. Once you've got all of those done and you have 4 knots on each of your outer weaves, we can go ahead and clip some of our ends. Any that are sticking out sideways, so our weaving cords on the second tier, you can go ahead and clip almost right down to the knot. And then before you get too far, you'll just want to melt that because you don't want it sliding out. And white is really hard to melt because if you melt it too much, it's going to turn black. So we just want to give that a quick melt with lighter and flatten that against so it doesn't pull through the knot. We'll do that for the rest of these and finish it up with our 2 longest cords. You want to leave those for now. We're going to turn those into our hanging loop. So for those 2 longest cords, we're just going to tie them in an overhand knot and make the loop as big as you like. There we go. I can clip those ends. We'll clip the rest of these ends about a 1/2 inch long and then just kind of fluff them with our finger. So if you just use your finger and push on the ends, it'll help them fray to kind of finish it off. So there's our snowflake all finished. Thanks again for suggesting this one, guys. This was a fun project to work on. And now we'll add this one to our tree. If you guys enjoyed this video, you might like some of the other Christmas ornaments in this series, so be sure to check that out. We'll put a link on the end screen. We'll also put a link in the description to where you can find 95 Paracord if you want to try this project for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.